Hello and welcome to another English class. Today I will be hiding my face because it's very red, because I've been blowing my nose constantly, because I have a cold. Anyway, recently we've been talking about present perfect, haven't we? And present perfect is a confusing tense because it has many meanings. You can use it to talk about something which hasn't finished. For example, I have lived here for 10 years. She has worked there for 2 years. You can also use it for things which aren't happening now, but the time is still true, relevant. For example, I have been to Spain 8 times in my life, which is unfinished. She has worked there for 4 years. The time is unfinished. Her life is unfinished. And you can also use present perfect simple to talk about recently finished results. Now, you can use past simple to talk about past results. So, how do we know which one to use? Well, that's what I'm going to do today. So, don't you worry, I have you covered, or I've got you covered. We'll talk about have got in another class, I think. Okay, now, the first thing I need to tell you is this. You can never, and I mean never, use present perfect with finished, past, time expressions. Yesterday, last night, last week, last month, when I was young, last December, last Christmas, I gave you my heart. So you can never use present perfect with I have done my homework yesterday. Wrong. She has read the book last night. Wrong. You cannot use past finished time expressions with present perfect. You can use them with past simple, and that is where we differentiate between the two. This tells us it is recent. That's the connectivity to the present, relativity to the present. And the past simple, it doesn't matter when it happened in the past, and if you need to tell someone when, we use past time expressions. Yesterday, last week, last month, when I was a kid, last December. Okay, now you can use often, many times, once, 4 times, a few times, once or twice with present perfect because that's not a past time, that's a quantitative expression. So you can use present perfect with quantitative expressions, and we often do. Yeah, yes, we do. Okay, so let's look at the differences. I have fixed the car just tells me about the result. It doesn't tell me when. I cannot tell you when. It's impossible because we cannot use finished time expressions. This tells you it's fixed and it was recently fixed. This tells us when. I fixed the car yesterday. I fixed the car last week. Of course, you don't have to say yesterday or last week. You can say I fixed the car, but if you want the person to know when, of course, you can only use past simple to tell them when. You cannot use present perfect to tell them when. And let me tell you this. You can never use when and what time with present perfect, okay? You can never use when or what time in questions because when is in the past. Well, when can be future, but in this context, when have you fixed the car? No. When did you fix the car? What time have you arrived? No. When did you arrive? Past simple. Okay. She has lost her bag. That tells us she doesn't have her bag now. That's the present relativity. She lost her bag last night. She lost her bag yesterday. She lost her bag when she was on the train. Those are all in the past. That tells us when. This tells us she doesn't have her bag. That's why it's a present tense. She doesn't have her bag now, so that's the connection. He has broken his leg. His leg is broken now. That's the connection to the present. You cannot say when, but you can say when here. He broke his leg last week. He broke his leg last month. He broke his leg yesterday. It hasn't rained today. Today is a present time expression. Today, this week, this month, this year. Those are all present time expressions because the time is unfinished. It didn't rain yesterday. Okay? Past simple. It hasn't rained today. It didn't rain yesterday. It didn't rain last week. It didn't rain last month. Lucky. We have watched it many times. Many times is okay. It's quantity. It's not a past time. It's a quantity. We have watched it many times. We watched it, past simple, years ago, last night, last week. They have visited often. That's a quantity. They visited, past simple, last year. They visited yesterday. They visited after the wedding. Those are all past time expressions. Of course, you can use last night, last week, last month, last year, yesterday, in December, in June, in April, a few days ago, a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a few years ago. You can use those for past simple, obviously. You cannot use those for present perfect. So you see the difference? This is relative to the present, no past times. Quantity, yes. This is past, this tells us when. The action is the same, okay? But this tells us when, this tells us the present situation, the car is fixed. The car could be broken here. The car is broken. Ah, what? I fixed the car last week. Well, it's broken again. I have fixed the car. The present situation tells us the car is fixed. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Be doing okay. So I do regular videos. At the moment, they're daily, and I hope to continue doing them daily. I can't promise they'll be daily, but since I started doing these, I've only missed 2 days in 1 month. So it's almost daily, if not daily. Please hit like. I'm very grateful for that. Share this with anyone who is learning English because it could help them, and that's a lovely thing to do. So thank you for that. And also leave a comment if you have any questions or doubts, or if you just want to say, "Hi Al, nice jacket." Thank you very much. So have a lovely day, and I'll see you very soon for the next video. Bye bye.